Yo, what's good, everybody? SBX here, and this is a topic that I have wanted to pretty much explain to myself about gaming, and I told you I'm trying to go hard on these gaming, on the gaming thing, and to be quite honest, folks, I need to give you my opinion about how I feel about video games compared to back in the 90s, well, pretty much my era, but we can go back to the 80s or maybe the 1970s and to the early 2000s and now. So between the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s and now. So let's get it started though, folks. I'm just going to give you my perspective of how I got introduced to video games. So basically, I was about at least 4 or 5 years old where I was introduced to the Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64, not Nintendo 64, but Super Nintendo. And I feel that, that was when I first fell in love with video games, but I was too young to even know how to play the game. And I remember I seen my cousins playing like video games when they were kids, and they didn't want me to play because I was so young and I didn't know what I was doing. So I was kind of upset that I could never play a video game. And then my sister, she had a Nintendo Super Nintendo, but then for some reason it stopped working. But still, I never had gotten a chance to play it. So I remember my grandma when she had the first Game Boy, the Game Boy Pocket, and I used to play like her handheld games like Tetris and Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. So by the time I got to be 9 going on 10, my mother on Christmas Day of 1999, I believe, I had gotten my first game console, because I've always asked my mom if she could either give me a PlayStation or a Nintendo 64, and my mother always said not now, or whenever the time is right, or until either my birthday or Christmas. That's pretty much the answers that your parents will tell you every time you're asking a spoiled question about asking them to buy you a game or whatever. So by the time, like I said, by the time I reached 9 years old, my mom and my grandma, in fact, had gotten me the first PlayStation X, you could say, but the first gen PlayStation. So even with my best friend, I remember I go to his house, we played like Crash Bandicoot, and we played like Mega Man and stuff like that. So yeah, I was always never good at these games because I was never experienced playing a video game, but I always wanted one. So besides relying on to the arcade machines at your local laundromat or the barbershop, I remember those were the days where I can get access to play, video games or whatnot, and bumming from mom for quarters just to play a game. But pretty much, after I got older, I realized I got better with gaming, from PlayStation first gen to PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and then now PlayStation 4, Wii, and stuff like that. But honestly though, folks, I played other consoles as well, like the Xbox, the Nintendo consoles and stuff like that, but I've always been nothing but a PlayStation person. I've always have, and I always will be. I'm very devoted to PlayStation. You can call me a fanboy if you want. I don't give a shit what you think. So I'm very devoted with PlayStation. and there's some things that I do like and don't like about PlayStation, but either or, I'm sticking to PlayStation till the day I die. So I'm gonna talk about how I feel about gaming, like the video games I grew up on versus what the games I play now, and looking forward in the game in the future and stuff like that. So like I said, I first got the PlayStation first gen when I was 9, and it was about 1999 on Christmas Day, and I got my first wrestling game like WCW and Crash Team Racing and stuff like that. And me, my mom, my sister, we always had a good time playing these games. And nevertheless, those were the good old days where me and my sister were all together, and my mom, we played video games, ate Chinese food. I feel like that was the best of times ever of playing video games. And especially it was a white Christmas, but I would say that video games have changed my life forever when it comes to appreciating good characters. I believe that video games make me be more creative, have an idea, have an imagination about what type of superheroes you like, what kind of action you like, and things of that nature. Even though I never pursued a career in game designer or anything like that in particularly, but video games pretty much, some people may call it addiction. I call it rehab, because sometimes when you really feel bored or there's something on your mind what's going on, you play your games. Like you play, like I remember playing games on my PlayStation first gen, like I said, the WCW games, the WWF games, the Crash Bandicoots, the Tekkens, and racing games that I borrowed from my friends, Spyro the Dragon. A lot of, I've never owned too many games growing up as a kid, but I appreciate a lot of games. And also, by the time I reached to be 11 or 12 years old, I began playing like the PlayStation 2, and later on got adapted to playing Grand Theft Auto and Dragon Ball Z games, and Tekken, and a lot of great games. And when PlayStation 2 came out, the second gen, we had so many great games. Like I said, the Tekkens, like Tekken 4, Tekken 5, the Metal Gear Solid games, the Max Payne 1 and 2. I never played the Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 2, but I always wanted to play it. But also the Tekken Tag tournaments, I forgot about that. The Dragon Ball Z, like the Budokais, the Tenkaichis. To be honest, I'm trying to remember what type of games I played. Hell, I played Def Jam Vendetta and Fight for New York. Those were the best fighting games of all time. Those were the GOAT games. Especially Fight for New York. That game was the greatest game of all time. That game was a GOAT. What else? Soul Calibur and Devil May Cry, God of War, like I said, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Liberty Stories, and Vice City Stories, and all that. Like I said, those were great, phenomenal games growing up. The Spider, like when I got older, to be like 17 going on 18, my grandmother had got me a PlayStation 3, and you know, I played like Spider-Man games and Grand Theft Auto, played Assassin's Creed, and you know, list of so many games. And then by the time I bought my second PlayStation 3, I was really hooked on it for life. You know, now there's some days, there was some moments that I haven't played video games for a very long time because of what was wrong with the system, or something has to deal with like losing games, broken games, or anything like that. So I took a 2-3 year hiatus playing video games, but I definitely know how to play the game, and it never loses my sight. So, you know, after I bought PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 games, you know, now I'm going to talk about how video games have developed over the years, you know, based on graphics, based on gameplay, based on gamers' views about certain games or whatnot. So, I mean, I remember games where, you know, it's just all about fun, strategy, and, you know, just kicking ass, you know? I mean, it still is. But my thing about video games of today's well, I don't even know what gen we on right now, so I'm gonna say we in the third or the fourth gen of gaming. Like, let's say just for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, and, you know, those consoles, you know. I mean, Nintendo Switch is not as, you know, popular as like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, or the One S per se. So this is my thing about, you know, today's video games. I mean, they're awesome, don't get me wrong. And I love the improvement based on the graphics and how the systems are more computerized, and, you know, they're making it to the point that it's getting to be much more virtual, you know, with the VR sets and stuff like that. You know, this is something that we've been asking for as gamers for a very long time. Like, you know, something since we was playing arcade games or whatever. But here's my cons about today's gaming these days. You know, it's not the price of buying the game, but my problem is with gaming developers, the companies, and GameStop, is that I feel that, you know, compared to what happened when we were younger, when we had unlockable characters, or characters that we gotta do a mission or defeat somebody to unlock them. I remember the days where we used to unlock characters playing the whole game. But now it's like, all of a sudden, you know, they're making all these new characters, the new skins, and new everything when it comes to like the DLCs, you know. And I'm thinking, why do DLCs ever existed? You know, that's my concern about that. DLCs, like, you know, the good DLCs is that, you know, I feel like we want to play a game where we have the characters we want to play, and, you know, we want to see something new and different. That's good. But my problem is that why do we spend either $5, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100 for a DLC, or to reward points? Or another thing is, you know, having a season pass, you know, like, for example, if you actually buy a game, and because when you go to a GameStop or any stores that sell video games, they quickly ask you if you want the season pass with that. So they ask you to pay an extra $20, $30, or whatever, $10 to just play the DLC. Don't get me wrong. I do that sometimes if I can afford a DLC. But my problem is that why do we have to spend a lot of money just for characters in the game? Like, for example, when you play Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse, when I play Tekken 7, you know, there are so many characters that we're missing in this game. You know, and if you have the first season pass, you only get like what they're going to download to the PlayStation world, the Xbox world, or the Nintendo Switch world. Like, you get like 3 or 4 or 5 characters, right? Or 2 or 1, or whatever quest you're getting to unlock. So, you know, when you have the first year season pass, you don't have to pay for shit. So that's like character development insurance. Without that shit, you gotta pay for each character at a time. So it's kind of like, okay, if you have health insurance, if you go to the doctor or go see a dentist or whatever, but if you gotta see like a serious doctor that can help you with a disease or a tattoo removal, you gotta pay extra, or something that cannot cover it. You know, this is just an opinion. This is just a metaphor I'm just giving y'all, folks. So back to what I'm saying is that once the season pass end on this particular game for the first year, they're asking you for a second one when it comes to a season pass, where you download all the other cool characters or all the cool quests to go to, or the cool skins, the costumes, or whatever character you're playing as, or whatever the case may be. You gotta pay $5.99, $9.99, and all that other bullshit. You know, and what pissed me off was when they did the Tekken 7, when they released Lei Wulong and Anna Williams, and they talk about you either have to pay the season pass, which is $26.99, or you have to download one character a piece, or if you decided to download 2 of the characters, like Lei Wulong and Anna Williams. I was like, oh my god, I'm glad they put them in that game. So once I had really got into the put on my Tekken and play it, try to see how can I download Lei Wulong and Anna Williams, come to find out that I have to pay for this shit, and my first year season pass is not gonna fucking cover it. And that's some bullshit. So I'm asking for everybody. It's like, I mean, we all gonna contradict this. I have to do that sometimes, but I gotta even remind myself, it's like, why do we spend our money on fucking useless shit? And DLCs are fucking useless. It's because we downloading something where game developers are fucking selfish and they're greedy and they want to take advantage of gamers by adding characters that they know damn well they should be in the game, or the skins, or anything like that. You know, call me biased if you want, but I just believe that games are not supposed to be meant to download characters just to buy them. If they're in the game, they're in the fucking game. Man, I know this is gonna be a long rant, but there's so much I have to say about gaming. Also, I think that today's video games are very competitive. Why I say this is because every person, rather if you're a PlayStation person or Xbox person, we are so into the first person shooter games like Call of Duty, Fallout, Overwatch, and anything that deals with shooting games. And what's new right now is Fortnite. You know, everybody is jumping on that bandwagon of Fortnite, you know, and Fortnite looks like a bootleg third-person shooter version of Overwatch. you know? And I'll be honest with y'all. I did not really like Overwatch, but I do have the game. And I said to myself, what is the point of playing this fucking game? It was fun for a minute, but I realized this game is not really my style, you know? It looks like a Pixar fucking movie. I don't care if anybody is offended what I have to say, and then maybe I gotta be the first person to say it, but fuck Overwatch. Fuck Fortnite, you know? These games, like Fortnite, I gotta say, Fortnite is a better game than fucking Overwatch, but it still looks like some fucking Pixar kind of low budget video game that you play from the fucking cell phone type of game. You know, these character developments are so fucking cheesy, and like, this is something you look on a fucking a PC game where you play for free, like on Nickelodeon or something like that, you know, some kiddie game shit. I feel like, you know, what I mean by competitive is that when you go online, you're going to meet a lot of people who are going to be better than you. And people are very skilled at these games where they'll shoot you, like when you're playing Call of Duty, or you're playing Halo, or Overwatch, or any other specific game. It's like you got to be very quick and vigilant to play this game. Like, I will admit to y'all folks, I suck at first-person shooter games online. Rather if it's Call of Duty, rather if it's like Overwatch, or any other specific game that relates to shooting, even Grand Theft Auto Online, you know. I hate when motherfuckers just shoot me out of the goddamn blue. I remember back in the days when you play shooting games, you know, it's not even it used to be never a one-hitter quitter. You're like, you gotta take so many shots in games. Like, for example, Grand Theft Auto, it's like, your life is easily run out when your armor, when they keep on shooting your armor or whatever. I mean, back then, you gotta keep shooting like 20-30 times in order for you to get me down, you know. I mean, that's what I mean. These games, I get the fact that they want to make it realistic as possible, but my concept is that, you know, as a gamer, I think that we're being too competitive on these games, and every Call of Duty fanboy or Modern Warfare 2 or people who like to play these the Destiny and Fallout and all these other games, they are more into these type of games than, I'm not saying every gamer thinks this way, but I feel like the gaming industry is kind of changing because they're prioritizing first-person shooter games than your regular hack and slash games, the games that we grew up playing. Like, the best thing they can do is like, okay, they can remaster it, which is not a problem, but sometimes I feel like it's not enough. You know, we need more hack and slash games. We need games more like Tenchu and more fighting games and a lot of more adventure games. I mean, we got plenty of adventure games, but what's in the way is just the RPG games like Skyrim and all these other games, Bloodborne and Neo. You know, what I don't like about those games is that when you slash and do attack, your bar will go low and you gotta fight how long will it takes to slash. Even when I play For Honor, you know, my thing is that once you slash and dash for too long, your stamina will lower it down, and that's stupid. Like, I mean, again, I get that they're trying to be realistic in these games, but come on now. I mean, compared to an average person, we like to hack and slash as much as we can, and we don't get fucking tired. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, it's like we're tired. Like, it's like seeing a fat kid running a fucking lap, and he get tired once he reached like 10 meters, you know, or less than that. You get what I'm saying? The fat boy is tired because he ran, and he's tired, and he only did like a centimeter. You know, that's what I look at these RPG games when they do these hack and slash. You know, I like hack and slash, like the ninja games and the samurai games and things like that, where, you know, there's no limitations of doing any hack and slashing. You know, you're kicking ass, you're just killing motherfuckers, you know. And lastly, I want to say is like, despite the fact that Immature Games has been the phenomenon for the past 20 odd years now, I feel like I can't stand when little kids be on playing Grand Theft Auto, or let's not even just say Grand Theft Auto, but it could be just playing Call of Duty. You know, these trolls out there, like, but especially the kids, they're the worst trolls to deal with. You know, cursing and say, "You suck ass, motherfucker. You're a bitch. Fuck you." You know, with these high-pitched voices, you know. I mean, and also these fake-ass thugs, too, be on there acting hard. And you playing fucking Halo or Destiny or any other game, and you talking shit, and you think you're hard. I can't stand trolls on online games, you know, and they get on your ass about it. So to me, it's like, when I play Tekken or any other fighting game, I think that's more my specialty than playing first-person shooter games or whatever, you know. But I'm gonna say this though, folks. I love video games, and I'm gonna continue loving them still. But I just believe that I had to explain to my opinion that gaming in a whole has changed a lot, and it's either a good thing or a kind of complicated way, you know. But we gotta still keep having our game face on. Pick up our controllers, pick up our headsets, and pick up our VR sets, pick up our keyboards or whatever you're using to play a game. We as gamers, we gotta feel like we deserve to be entertained and be awesome with it, you know. I feel like, you know, if these Call of Duty games and all these first-person shooter games never existed, I feel like we could have much of a realistic, I can't say realistic, but I feel like gaming will be cool, you know. And it's missing. If there's something missing in the gaming industry, I can't even put my finger into it, but that's what I see though, folks. So anyways, I know I talked a lot on this video, and damn, it's 28 minutes, but y'all can bear with it. But if y'all are my true subscribers, y'all will be down for anything. So anyways though, folks, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Please leave your comments on the comment sections below, how you feel about it. If you're a true gamer, tell me about the games you like, tell me your first console you have gotten, and how do you feel about gaming as a whole today. Like I said, like, subscribe, and I keep forgetting to say this, but make sure you hit that bell icon. Until then, folks, SBX gonna wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Peace out, and play hard.